Our DNA is mutating as we speak. We're developing 12 strands. This is an amazing scientific claim. The writer Alexander Light says, 2 nights ago before I went to sleep, I asked the creation to guide me to another important subject. The next morning, my father called me to say that scientists made strange discoveries regarding the human DNA. Even though I usually administrate this kind of information to my father by force, now he was the one updating me. Even so, I haven't paid attention to the subject until later that evening. To be honest, I was amazed to read that the modern medicine finally released to the press that the first human with 3 DNA strands has been born. Of course, the case of little Alfie is the first one to be officially acknowledged by the medical community, but not the only one existent. In fact, I've read years ago that independent doctors were already working with children who developed the 3rd DNA strand, but are they different than the average human? I'm absolutely delighted to inform you that they are very special, and in fact all humans are mutating to a superior race species as we speak, he says. Please relax and enjoy the article. 1. The modern medicine officially acknowledged the first case of a child with 3 DNA strands. 2. Convention of geneticists from around the world say we're making an evolutionary change. We will be developing 12 DNA helixes. Each extra strand of DNA will grant us superhuman abilities, they said, that we are now calling paranormal. 3. DNA and body changes. 4. Physical DNA, spiritual connections. Little Alfie, the Alfie Clamp, the first acknowledged case by the modern medicine of a human with 3 DNA strands, a 2-year-old boy, has become the only person in the world to be diagnosed with an extra strand in his DNA. Brave Alfie Clamp was born blind with severe disabilities, which led doctors to carry out various tests on him, and they revealed his 7th chromosome has an extra strand of material which has never been documented anywhere in the world before. Doctors are baffled at his condition, which is so rare it does not have a name. Medics also have no idea whether his condition will improve or reduce his life expectancy. Alfie from Newton Works can now see and will have an operation to fix his intestinal problem caused by his condition. His parents, Gemma and Richard Clamp, only discovered something was wrong with their son after they first took him home. And within days, he was rushed back to the hospital after he stopped breathing. But when he was 6 weeks old, doctors discovered he had a rare abnormality in his DNA. Mrs. Clamp said, when the doctors told us, I was absolutely devastated. As a pregnant mom, you spend 9 months thinking about what will be like when your baby takes their first steps. Having a boy like Alfie makes you appreciate the little things. He didn't roll over until he was 18 months, but we were so excited when he did. The microscopic image of human chromosomes, little Alfie Clamp, has an extra arm or one of his chromosomes in what is believed to be the world's first. His condition left Alfie unable to see until he was 3 months old. His muscles were weak. He still suffers serious digestive problems and needs drugs every day. But since he was born, Alfie has been rushed to hospital 6 times, including twice recently. Now, humans are mutating as we speak, they say. Interview with Brenda Fox by Patricia Race. The context removed at the request of Patricia Race. The interview is still available. The link here. Remedies for side effects, extracted from an article, The Bigger Picture by Susanna Thorne Clark, were being changed physically from carbon-based beings with 2 strands of DNA into crystalline beings with 1,024 strands of DNA, eventually in time, because only crystalline substances can exist on higher dimension levels, but the immediate changes are from 2 to 3 DNA strands and later into 12, she said. It's speculated that the human beings already had 12 DNA strands, hundreds of thousands of years ago, but someone or something interfered in the evolution, downgrading to only 2 strands. It's not just humans who are changing, but all life forms on Earth are becoming crystalline, she says. All the fish in the sea, the flowers and trees in our gardens, the birds in the sky, even your pet dog or cat, everything is changing and into a new state of being. And Just as we let things go as a major part of changing process, one cannot take the old values and way of being into a new, completely different afterlife. So the progression through changes compels us to let go of current relationships, jobs, careers, homes, possessions, and so on if they are unable to support our new way of being. Is it any wonder, therefore, that there is a great deal of anxiety and fear being felt because these changes are already in progress, even though most people are not conscious of it? Also, the changes of our physiological makeup currently speeding up, and there are many temporary physical symptoms that are occurring in our bodies as a consequence of this. And some of these are flu-like symptoms, high temperatures, aching bones and joints, migraine headaches, severe pain that's not relieved with painkillers, occasional diarrhea, occasional runny nose, dizziness, ringing in the ears, heart palpitations, feeling the whole body vibrate, especially at night when no one is in a relaxed state, intense muscle spasms, tingling in the arms and legs, hands and feet, loss of muscular power in hands caused by changes in the circulatory system, occasional breathing difficulties, lymphatic system changes, feeling tired, wanting to sleep longer and more often, and bouts of depression, delving into the past, looking at relationships, gaining clarity on personal issues, feeling of a huge purge, tension, anxiety, high stress levels because one feels that something is going on but doesn't know what it is. Some of these symptoms are being felt by a great many people. Many are rushing off to their doctors, chiropractors, herbalists, etc., and are usually told there's nothing wrong with them. And this is the truth, for all these symptoms are just temporary and simply indicate that these physiological changes are occurring. Some of the recommended relief remedies: go with the flow, don't fight it. If you feel tired, exhausted, rest and get plenty of sleep. Drink lots of water to detoxify yourself and get rehydrated quicker. And do this daily, recognizing that if you have heart palpitations or breathing difficulties, that it could be the heart chakra or the throat chakra that's unblocking, and that the symptoms are temporary. And all energies are transmitted via sound of the name and are just as effective said in the mind or aloud as in physically taking them. Try it and see. And of course, ask your angel guides to help relieve the pain. And they're just waiting to be asked. Most symptoms seem to last a couple of weeks and then they clear up. One report of a woman who had grown 3 inches taller and a foot size larger. All children under the age of 7 have also now completed the change, the writer says. Now the spiritual connection is what he goes to, as scientific research has now proven our DNA shown on here, the familiar double helix configuration, holds the genetic codes for your physical and emotional evolution, and still to be discovered by science is the fact that your DNA has a much greater purpose than simply being a blueprint of your body. The Genome Project decoded only approximately 3% of the total physical DNA, and the remainder, 97%, was the term junk, referring to it as no purpose. The truth is that the human body is extremely efficient, and anything that is of no use becomes atrophied and is evolved out of existence within a few generations. If 97% of our DNA is junk, why do we still have it then? That so-called junk DNA in our body contains all our history since your first incarnation into the planet, and it's where your record of your soul resides. And our DNA has been called a living library, cause of wealth of information is stored in it. And the writer says there are 10 additional strands of DNA, or 5 double helix strands, which were disconnected and deactivated eons ago. Science has yet to discover the strands, although they have seen shadows of them on their electronic microscopes, and they call them shadow DNA. With 12 strands of DNA activated, you have access to 10 times the information available from your DNA, the author says. These additional strands encompass areas of your life, such as connected to God, inner vision, communication, physical and spiritual, love, both human and divine, physical body, life force, and personal will. This is on Humans Are Free by Alexander Light. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.